Welcome, welcome! And in this RH Jam, we examine what being a catalyst means, how we can get past our need to control outcomes and allow for the intelligence of reconnective healing to act on our behalf. One experience, the O.N.E, observe, notice, and experience alumni, Melissa Montefalcon, will be joining us shortly to share her life-changing self-discoveries during this program. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Melissa. And we're also going to touch base with our team in Sao Paulo who just had their first all-Portuguese Catalyst program, and also talk about an amazing event that is coming our way. Our very first live stream from Palm Springs on December 8th, coming up on the RH Jam. And welcome again. That was a short break. I just wanted to show our beautiful logo flying around the screen. If this is your first RH Jam, here's where we get to talk about everything and anything that is reconnective healing, plus themes and topics that we know are important to you as well as they're important to us. And it's an opportunity to share and exchange ideas, thoughts, experiences that we feel we know make us grow and make us evolve. I hope you'll be patient with me today. It's a magnificent day of a lot of crazy technical shenanigans. I am not going to go into details, but anything that could have gone has in the last 15 minutes. So we'll just have fun with the frequencies and go for the ride. And I love to always remind you guys of this. And it is that in order to know when we're going to be back here online for you to discuss all these amazing things, all you need to do is subscribe, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and not only will you be able to receive alerts about the RH Jam and upcoming programs that we'll be doing both in Spanish and in English starting next week, but also all the other amazing videos that we're putting together for you. And you'll be in the first line. You'll be like a premiere kind of thing, like, you know, you'll know and you'll be there, and you can have a watching party too if you like to. And I just love when you guys chat with me. And I want to show all the comments that have coming in. Let me see, I'm looking over here. Thank you everyone who's joined us today. I really hope that you share with us your own experiences in your development, discovery, evolution, understanding of what a catalyst is. And let's jump in right into the subject. What is a catalyst? Well, here is something that I find truly amazing about the subject. And I just want to share with you this amazing image that was shared with me by the team. The Reconnection team is awesome. Thank you so much. Here we are, straddling two worlds. There's one that will not talk to the other. And sometimes all it takes is that just that impartial, unbiased, singular item, person, substance, element steps in and by just being there creates a change. In very simple terminology, imagine that you're going camping and you need to start a fire. So you have your wood, your tinder ready, and then you have what you want to put on that wood. You're going to cook soup. You're going to do a big bowl of beautiful found vegetable soup. See, if we were in the Czech Republic, as our wonderful Vladimir Eckhart would say, on Saturdays you would go out hunting for mushrooms and you may have a mushroom stew. So here you have the wood, you have the soup, you have to have something to heat it up. You have to have fire happen. That would be your result. So you need to have a catalyst. You bring together a firestone or a magnesium bar, or you have a match and you strike it against the surface. And that spark that happens, the spark, is what will then dictate what the change happens. Now, the spark itself, though, and this is the interesting thing, the spark happens, but the spark has no intention of setting a fire. It's just a spark. And that perhaps is how to best describe the role of a catalyst in a reconnective healing environment. And I understand that we have all a mandate that I'm fairly certain, I'm going to go on a limb here, that we all share into. We need to somehow be the change that we want to see in the world. So it really puts us on us to examine what is it that we can change within ourselves, so that the world around us starts to change. I'm paraphrasing Gandhi on this amazing, beautiful, and so profound observation about how change happens and perhaps needs to happen. But can we always be that internal about observations about change? I am going to say I sometimes want to direct it. I sometimes want to kind of channel how this change is going to happen. And when that happens, comes into my consciousness, and I have to tell you, it doesn't happen as it used to, because reconnective healing is there. It just provides an amazing environment. Again, like I said, this environment, atmosphere in which this is no longer the big issue that it used to be. But whenever we find ourselves in that moment in which we really want to move things around, actually where we are creating discord in ourselves, we're creating conflict within ourselves, because as Dr. Eric Pro has said on many an occasion, it's like, not only would you be owning, say, that your involvement does affect a healing or a cure, but you're also then owning personally the one that didn't happen. And that is not the role of a catalyst. I want for all of us to greet Melissa Montefalcon, because her own journey and discovery on how reconnective healing can help us really understand and harness the concept of a catalyst in the world of a healer, in a way that for her has been a daily discovery. So I hope you'll help me greet her right now. Hi, Melissa. And welcome, Melissa. Thank you so much for accepting this invitation.
I'm excited. Yeah, of course. Once you reached out to me and asked me, I had to.
And I really appreciate it. As I explained before, I had the pleasure of meeting you during the Catalyst at Palm Springs in April. We had a beautiful moment, and I've put a little link down below, guys, so you can go to watch Melissa in action during the Catalyst. It's super awesome. She shared with us some really important and inspirational moments of her own transformation. And what I wanted to ask you is, first of all, how did you come across reconnective healing?
So I've always just been interested in different, modalities of healing, from Reiki, energy healing, always kind of just looking those kind of things up. I've always told myself, oh, eventually one day I'm gonna do it. And my partner, he is the same way. We both do it, do it together, and look up all these different informations together. And he has a friend out in Germany who his mother does reconnective healing, and he mentioned it to my partner Blaze, and Blaze got the book, and me and him were both reading it, and we were just blown away, and we were just so moved in a way that we hadn't felt with the other, with Reiki or, energy healing. And, we love all those things equally, but with something with this, it just hit us really heavy in the best way possible. And we're like, okay, we have to do this. And we went for it. We're like, okay, the sooner that we can try to find a workshop that's in the area, we're going to go. And so, yeah. And then from there, he went first. He went to Chicago. And so he got to travel out to Chicago, and then, I went to Palm Springs. But it was just this force that just kind of just pulled us to it. It was like, there's no waiting. We're just going to go. And we just did it.
That is really how reconnective healing tends to find us, right? It's like there's this moment of inspiration, and you just either have like a first contact with it and you feel it, but maybe you are not ready to take that next step. And then there is the other in which you just know you got to do it.
And that's it's like we just knew, and we are like, this is the one that we wanna go for, and yeah, and then things just kind of started to fall into place like they often do when you're supposed to do things, and everything just fell into place. For him, he went first, and it fell into place faster for him. I was at school, so it was harder for me to kind of just pick up and go to Chicago, and he was in a place where he could do that, and I was like, yes, you have to go. And then it fell into place for me to go to Palm Springs, and I was very happy. I was very happy.
And that's one of the things that I really wanted to ask you about. As we were part of a program, I mean, the capacity of being filming behind the scenes and just participating throughout both programs, Ignite as well, which was taking place. I was so privileged to observe how so many of the transformations that happened in that room. Share with us, what were your own transformations, your own discoveries while you were there at the Catalyst?
Oh my goodness. So, thinking back, when I was there, when you're doing the exercises and they're asking you to just receive, for me, that was a big breakthrough for me, because I realized, how much we try to manipulate things, even in our lives, not necessarily like maliciously or in a bad way, but we want something to happen. We want this to, be, and so we try to make it happen. And it was so interesting to try to work through that and really just like receive the energy and really just be and be present. And, that for me was the hardest thing there, because I was like, oh, I want to feel it. What does this feel like? What it is? And, I was concentrating too hard. And I was like, how I could feel like glimpses of it. Like you get there and then you do something that you're just probably used to doing, and it snaps you out of it. And you're like, oh, shoot, like I'm back to trying to manipulate it. And, the moments that I was able to actually receive and really just feel and let go and slip into that place, it was such a beautiful feeling, and I think that's something that's definitely carried on for me, like through all of that. It's whether you're on the table or whether you're trying to facilitate, the reconnective healing. It's like you're always just receiving and letting it be and really trying to feel in that presence. And the times that I got to do that, it was just so amazing for me. And, me just having a really tough background, I realized how much I wasn't doing that. Like I was just kind of, not going to say numb, but I was just kind of like going day to day, things you got to do, and not really just like receiving the beautiful moments that I would have. Maybe a butterfly would fly by me, or you feel the breeze, the sun, hitting your face, like things like that. We just pass by them so fast because we're on our way to do stuff. And yeah, just that act of receiving and really just being in that moment and feeling that around you, that for me was like the thing that really, really got me.
That is so on point. We've been talking in this as you know, in this RH Jam precisely about the role of a catalyst. What does it mean to be a catalyst? I cannot think of a much more beautiful way to illustrate it as the way that you've described it, that receivership. I think it's hard for most people to be able to get themselves out of their own way. We try to want to control, right? We want to direct. So you shared that discovery of yourself with us. What other discoveries did you make? What other moments of aha moments did you have during the Catalyst program?
A lot of times it was like when people were speaking even about their own experience, like, when one of the women, and I don't remember her name, but she got up and it was like being loved, like being in that loving energy, like looking at somebody like, oh, just, I love you. That was also something that really like hit me, where it was just like having that kind of, if you can carry that and like really just put that out into your life, like it's amazing how many beautiful people you actually meet, like, and how many people that just by feeling that, even if you're not talking to them, just by smiling at somebody random, but being in that love within yourself, how you can kind of see a transfer to other people. Everybody that was there was just so awesome, and just like how they wanted to speak about how they were able to get into that place, and hearing people explain, what got them there kind of helped me figure out how to get there. So it was cool because people would talk about their family, they would talk about their children, or maybe, something that they like to do, like just sitting and reading a book, or, so that was also something that was great, just meeting everybody and speaking with them and being with people who are kind of on, like, we're all on this journey, but being with people who are there at that moment in time on this journey, that was something that I was just so awesome to me. Because, I mean, everybody there was just, it was just so great. And everybody was so nice, and, sharing all of these experiences and these feelings. And it was like we were all little kids. And I just loved that. I really loved that.
That's so true. Yeah, you feel childlike, right? Like you want to play, you want to play, you want to feel, you want to. It is sensorial, and with the beautiful blog that I put a link down here for you guys is such a treat from Virginia Adams. I've mentioned it before. I'm going to say it again. It's a great read, and it tells you the whole experience of Virginia being at the Catalyst, how her senses came alive, and it was so childlike. This wanting to play. So I heard you say transfer. That transferring of joy, of love, of how, which we know that's how the energy it works. Yeah. Really, right? Tell me, how has it transferred after the program? How has it affected, changed, transformed you, your life, those around you?
Oh, wow. I mean, I think, I feel like it's been so many little things, and that just kind of all come together in a very big way. Just that idea of like the receiving and being very present. I try to do that every day. And obviously, it's not easy. You get things that take you out of that moment. But, working to kind of get back to that, every day, and just having those moments, just really being present and really just letting myself feel, whether it's good or bad, just feeling it all and loving it all, and knowing that, it's bringing up like the true you. And I think that's one thing that has really, really helped me with reconnective healing, is really just finding myself, like not who I think I'm supposed to be, but who I actually am through my emotions and through like the receiving that I'm getting personally, that just touches me on an everyday, I mean, I find it interesting that when we can accept, and not accept like, oh, you just need to accept if the situation is bad. You obviously want to make your life as best as you can possible. But when you can accept those like negative thoughts or things that you might be feeling, if you can just kind of accept them and let them be, because they're also a part of you, they don't come at you so hard, and it's not so like knocking you off your balance. You're just like, oh, okay, like that's there. Those are my emotions. I'm receiving these emotions. Why am I receiving them? And then like transferring that over into the positive, and kind of like merging, those both sides of you, the side that, you maybe hide from yourself, and then you hide from the world. It's like integrating that together with the side that you want to show everybody, because both of it's you. And that's one thing that's like the main point that I am at right now with, all the little things that kind of came into play after, the Catalyst weekend. And it's really been life-changing. It was like a lot of little things that just kind of snowballed into this huge, huge aspect of my life, where I finally feel like no matter what situation comes my way, like I'm going to be able to tackle it, and I'm going to get through it, and it's only really going to make me stronger. And it's beautiful to not be afraid. It's like not being afraid of bad things happening. It's like just knowing that they're part of it, and you gotta, try to flip it around. And there's always a positive side to everything, and everything's a growing experience. Everything is something that's pushing you to bring out you in like your truest essence, in your truest form. And it's just awesome.
Yes, it is. Yes, absolutely it is. I find that whenever I get caught up in some sort that, like you rightly say, a perceived negative emotion or a perceived negative space, I find that since reconnective healing came into my life, it's so much easier. It's so much
Yeah.
easier. There's almost no effort, if any, to switch up. Before,
Yeah.
I feel that it was more like, oh, okay, I need to go through several steps of thinking to let go. And now it's just like in the consciousness of reconnective healing, right? You become aware of it like you do.
Yeah.
Oh, I acknowledge you. There you are, negative looking emotion. I own you. It's okay. And boom, the change happens right there.
Yeah, it's exactly. And it's crazy how I feel the same way. Like before that, it was like something bad would happen or you're sad, and it takes me like a couple days because I'm like, oh, I feel this, and maybe I'm gonna meditate to do that, and I'm gonna do yoga to feel better. But it was, and those things would help. They would definitely help. But yeah, with this, it's just like boom, boom. You recognize it, you realize it, and you're able to kind of transform that energy to, just kind of, yeah, just figure it out and let it be just a part of the lesson.
Yeah, so absolutely beautiful. Melissa, we are running out of time. Is there anything that you like to share with everyone watching today about yourself, your experience as a catalyst, your experience at the catalyst?
Wow, that time went by so fast. I feel like once you get going, you can keep going.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I think just really practicing that being present and being in the moment will really just change your life and the people around you, because you'll notice that when people are going through things, you can actually really be there with them. And sometimes, that helps somebody so much by knowing that you're present with them there in that moment of their despair and their sorrow, even without giving them any advice or telling them what to do. And, your relationships will change, you'll change. And I think the more that like you do that, you kind of let go of who you think you're supposed to be. And when you do that, you can kind of really find your true self. And that's the path that I'm walking on right now. And so I'm very grateful to have Reconnective Healing, kind of bring that out in me and keep me on this, kind of roller coaster road that's very fun, actually. And yeah, just kind of keep doing it.
Oh, Melissa, great, beautiful words and messages. And again, guys, like I said before, there's a great little video with Melissa. I've included the link here below. Melissa, thank you so much. And I hope you will accept an invitation to come back on the program soon.
Oh yeah. As soon as I'm in school and I just got another job. I was in between jobs, and so the second that I get the opportunity to actually get back out there, like I'm there. I mean, I do a lot of the online stuff, so that's nice. I love that you guys have that, because if you can't physically be there,
Yeah.
You can still get that being a part of the online programs and doing the classes. I mean, it's just as beautiful. It's just nice when you get to meet people face to face and connect. And I got to meet you and a lot of the crew, and so it's just great. It's just been great all the way around.
I'm so happy you brought that up. Yes, in person is awesome. But if for every reason you cannot make it there, do know that this particular catalyst in Palm Springs in December, we're having a live stream, our very first live stream. And
Really? I didn't know that.
I know, December 8th is going to be Sunday 10 to 12, but I have all the information. I'll put it down here. I might even have a little video that I'll play at the end so you have more information about the live stream. Melissa, thank you so much for joining us today at the RH Jam. All the success in the world with all your endeavors and every single amazing item that you're planning and you're working on. I know you're working hard at a lot of things. So proud of you.
Thank you, and thank you for asking me for me to be a part of this. I just love it. Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.
Well, That was a treat, wasn't it? And I hope that Melissa will be joining us again and keep updating us on how her own discoveries are taking shape in her life. She mentioned something very important: being present. Being present. And we have coming up a great gift for you: 4 ways that help you stay present, to be that catalyst that we can all be. Now, actually, we all are. And that it becomes a manifest reality when we are interacting with the reconnective healing frequencies. First, I gotta let you know again, stay tuned, because I will be sharing this with you shortly. And I want to share first with you a beautiful video from our Sao Paulo team. They sent us this great little 1-minute clip from the floor as they were training in Portuguese in Sao Paulo, Brazil. This great team: Guilherme Poli, our co-director of our global teaching team, Malu Nobrega, and her amazing team of instructors and mentors. They sent us a little moment for us to feel the frequencies. Let's take a look. That was beautiful. And I can see you guys have been jamming it over here in the chat. Welcome, everyone. Jillian Fleer is on the floor, everyone. Welcome, Jillian. I love metamorphic spark. Metamorphic spark is such a beautiful term. I want to welcome everyone, and especially a very deep thank you to both Lexi and Cecilia, who are helping us with all the chat and comments and incoming questions. Anybody here who has, how did you feel about the little video that we just showed? Did you feel the frequencies? Did you feel yourself interacting with them? I see who has something to say. Yes, somebody did feel them. Lexi, you did feel them. That's awesome. Well, please continue to post and comment, because I'll be coming back here, if not during the chat, immediately after the program, and then check on anything else that you like to have more information on. And welcome all, as always, to the RH Jam. So let's see those 4 ways that reconnective healing allows us to stay present. Here we go. Or actually, we allow ourselves to be present. Thank you to reconnective healing and the changes that it happens, it provokes, it effects, it inspires in us. And I want to point out that these are points beautifully described in our feature blog for today, written by our very own Virginia Adams, who's here on the floor as well. Welcome. She's in the chat room. So if you have questions about this amazing blog, the sensorial experience of the catalyst, please reach out to her right now, because she will answer all your questions. But here are 4 takeaways about the ways that reconnective healing helps us stay present. First of all, interacting with these frequencies, as we allow them to perform and effect these changes in tandem with our ability, our willingness to become aware of these changes, we start to see beyond what is visual. Basically, it allows us to start seeing a field much broader that does not necessarily include the visuals we expect to see we are driving for to see. It takes us beyond that point. And once we are beyond the expectation of what is it that we need to be seeing or watching in front of us, it truly frees us to be in the moment, in being present in that moment. And it all goes back again to what Melissa was talking about being present. It really creates a beautiful, effortless environment, atmosphere for us to be able to notice, observe, and experience what do these things mean. As another one of our senses that gets immediately enhanced is also our ability to hear. We are now in an environment and an atmosphere in which we are listening to new and different. We're listening with new ears. And this also, by allowing ourselves to transcend what we expect in sounds and recognizing that there's something new happening in our auditory senses, we become very present to them. And again, we're back there with that word, being present, so key to be a catalyst for change in the reconnective healing, with the reconnective healing frequencies. Our taste becomes sight and sound. Our entire set of senses transforms itself, and the communication is open internally in a way that at first feels very strange. I know when it happened to me, it felt very strange. And then it became what Jillian and Eric have termed the new known. It's something that it has come to you in an instant, instantaneously, and yet it feels like you've always known this. Somehow, you can put your finger on it. And last but not least, you start to touch without really touching. The sensation of touching expands beyond the actual skin on skin or skin on object. It is the distance between our hands disappears, and they are literally just become the same thing. And that is when we are in this environment, in this atmosphere, in the reconnective healing field, which we've talked about, but we're going to talk at length in another episode. That's when we really know ourselves to be present. We enter into a very rarefied space in which we simply are. We move from the doing, that wanting to direct, to simply being. And that is ultimately the role of any spark, metamorphic or not. Anyway, we are metamorphic in our role as catalysts. And I want to again thank you for joining me this week. As always, here's an amazing link that we have so you can avail yourself to Dr. Eric Burrow reading his narration from a wonderful book entitled The Reconnection, Heal Others and Heal Yourself. And I have a treat for you. Right after here, after I finish doing my hello, thank you, and goodbyes, there is a very beautiful video prepared by Eric and Jillian, and with our amazing collaborator, Anton Wispitsky, in which they will tell us about this amazing live stream coming on December 8th in Palm Springs. This is a once in a lifetime chance as far as we know, because this is the very first time we're doing it. And we want to know how it will impact people, how people will receive it. If this is something that you want in your lives, to learn how to heal yourself and others, and have the ability to then join us at other programs around the world, then you really have to sign up. That would be my strong recommendation. Thank you again. Love you all. I'll see you next week. And I want to leave you with our live stream event in Palm Springs coming up December 8th.
We have a beautiful community that many of you are a part of that has been evolving over the last 2 decades. And this is the first time we have ever structured a way for people to peek in and just touch the experience of what goes on inside the Reconnective Healing Catalyst program and One Experience. And what is so important to us, and many people who are a part of our practitioner community is that this will be an opportunity for people you know, your loved ones, your families, the people that you work with, to get a little glimpse of not only what is reconnective healing, but how is it possible that even in a 2.5-hour live stream segment, they will receive tangibly the reconnective healing superpower. They will have an opportunity to really not only understand what makes our community so strong and passionate about bringing this awareness, and really that's a big part of it. It is not that it is unavailable, but the awareness to know that you are receiving these frequencies is what just becomes so transformative.
You know, in a way, it's like discovering a new color. We can write about it, we can talk about it, we can discuss it, but until we actually see the color, we don't know what that color is. Until you actually see it, feel it, allow it to become a part of you, and discover simultaneously that you are therefore becoming a part of it, it's theoretical. Mm-hmm. And what greater way to share what reconnective healing is about and allow you to begin to interact with this intelligence, these frequencies, than to drop in and visit and be a part of it in action. This interaction will bring reconnective healing and this intelligence and these frequencies out of the realm of theoretical